Welcome back to Z Coins. We talk about rare coins, valuable finds, and hidden treasures that could be sitting in your pocket right now. If you're into coin collecting or just curious about the value of everyday coins, you are in for a treat today. Because we are diving deep into one of the most incredible finds in American coin history, the 1999 D1787 mint mark quarter dollar that could be worth a staggering $76,999. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly 77 grand for a single quarter. Stick with me through the video as we uncover the details, the historical background, the coin's unique features, and why collectors are paying massive money for this coin in the current market. Let's jump right into it. So what is the 1999 D1787 quarter all about? First things first. The year 1999 marked the beginning of the 50-state quarters program. This was a wildly popular initiative by the United States Mint to honor each of the 50 states with unique designs on the reverse side of the quarter dollar coin. Each year, 5 new designs were released, beginning with Delaware. Now here's where it gets interesting. Some of these state quarters were minted with slight errors or anomalies. And one of the most famous and valuable examples is the 1999 D quarter dollar with the 1787 date. So what does that 1787 signify? Well, 1787 is a nod to the year Delaware ratified the Constitution, becoming the first state in the Union. This is part of the design, not the actual mint year. The actual mint year is 1999 and the D stands for the Denver Mint. But collectors refer to this coin as the 1999 D1787 quarter to distinguish it from others. And that distinction matters a lot now. Here's the juicy part. What makes this particular coin so incredibly valuable is not just the design or the date. It's the error, the rarity, and the condition. Some versions of this quarter were struck with off-center designs, double dies, missing mint marks, or even wrong planchets. That means the coin might have been struck on the wrong type of metal blank or with imperfect alignment. These types of mint errors make certain coins rare and highly collectible. So how rare is the 1999 D1787 quarter that sold for $76,999? Incredibly rare. There are only a handful known to exist in pristine condition with the right type of mint error. And when one of them appeared at auction in recent years, collectors went wild. It sold for a mind-blowing $76,999. That's more than the price of a brand new car for a single quarter, and the best part, you might already have one sitting in a drawer. So how can you tell if your 1999 D Delaware quarter is worth money? Here are the signs to look for. First, check the overall condition. A coin in uncirculated or near mint condition has a much higher chance of being valuable. Look for a clear D mint mark, the date 1999, and the state of Delaware design featuring Caesar Rodney on horseback. That's the standard now. For the rare versions, check for off-center strikes. If the design looks misaligned or shifted too far in one direction, that could be a valuable error. Next, look for doubling. That's when parts of the design, like the letters or numbers, appear to be slightly duplicated or have a shadow effect. That's called a double die, and it's a major collector favorite. Also, inspect the coin edge. Some rare versions have smooth edges instead of the usual reeded edge. And finally, look closely for any missing or faint mint marks, which can signal a mistrike. If you think you have a rare version, do not spend it. Take it to a professional coin grader or a reputable dealer. Getting it certified and graded could reveal its true value. Now, let's talk about the market. The coin collecting market has been heating up in recent years. With more people turning to alternative investments, rare coins like this quarter are gaining serious value. Online auctions have seen massive bids for rare 1999 D1787 quarters. Even moderately rare ones in excellent condition can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So while the $76,000 coin is an extreme case, there are plenty of others selling for $500 to $5,000 regularly. To wrap it up, the 1999 D1787 quarter is not just a piece of metal, it's a slice of American history, a collector's dream, and possibly a life-changing find. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just someone curious about coin values, take a moment to check your pocket change. Because your next grocery store quarter could be worth nearly $80,000. We are diving into one of the most talked about state quarters in recent years, the 2000 Maryland quarter dollar, also known by its date 1788 to honor the statehood of Maryland. Now here's the thing, this coin could be worth up to $60,999 in today's collector's market under the right conditions. Yes, you heard that right. Almost $61,000 for a single quarter. Let's break it all down. The Maryland quarter was released in the year 2000 as part of the U.S. Mint's popular 50-state quarters program. Each of these quarters was made to celebrate a specific state, and Maryland was the 7th state to be featured. The date 1788 seen on the coin marks the year Maryland officially became part of the United States. Now let's talk about the mint mark. The 2000 P quarter means it was minted in Philadelphia. There were over 686 million of these minted, so at first glance, this coin may not seem rare. But here's where it gets interesting. Certain versions of the 2000 P Maryland quarter have been discovered with mint errors, die clashes, and extremely rare varieties that collectors will pay big money to own. So what should you look for? One of the most valuable versions of this coin includes examples with dramatic die breaks, double die obverse errors, or mistruck edges. Coins with clean, visible doubling, especially on the lettering like United States of America, E pluribus unum, or even on the famous Maryland Statehouse dome design on the reverse side can increase the value significantly. Another big factor is condition. If your 2000 P Maryland quarter is graded MS67 or higher by a reputable grading company like PCGS or NGC, you could be sitting on a gold mine. Coins in this mint state condition are almost flawless, showing no signs of wear, scratches, or handling. These high-grade examples are incredibly rare because the vast majority of circulated quarters have already been handled, scratched, or worn down from daily use. Now let's talk about the big numbers. The highest auction price for a pristine 2000 P Maryland quarter in MS67 condition has been recorded at over $1,000. But here's where the $60,999 claim comes in. Some rare error coins and top condition varieties with ultra-low populations have sold in private sales or been listed at high-end coin auctions for extreme premiums. If you have a coin that combines a major mint error with a high grade and pristine eye appeal, collectors with deep pockets are willing to pay. Online marketplaces like eBay have listings where people are offering 2000 P Maryland quarters for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the condition and rarity. Be cautious though. Just because someone is asking for a high price doesn't mean the coin is worth it. Always verify with real sales data, grading reports, and expert opinions. So what should you do if you think you have a valuable Maryland quarter? First, inspect the coin closely using a magnifying glass. Look for any unusual features, doubling, die cracks, off-center strikes, or unusual surface texture. Next, compare it to verified error examples available through official numismatic websites. If you're still unsure, it's worth submitting the coin to a professional grading service. That could be the best investment you ever make. The 2000 P Maryland quarter may seem like just another coin, but as we've seen today, in the world of coin collecting, even the most common coins can be hiding massive value. With the right combination of rarity, condition, and error, your 25-cent piece could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. We are diving deep into a jaw-dropping story about a coin that might be sitting in your pocket change right now. Yes, we are talking about the 2010 P Mint Mark $quarter coin. You heard that right. A coin minted just over a decade ago is making waves in the collecting world, and some rare varieties are selling for as much as $45,999 in today's market. That's more than the price of a brand new CAR. So why is the 2010 P quarter commanding such insane prices, and what makes this coin so special? Stick around to find out, because this is one modern coin you absolutely don't want to ignore. Let's start with the basics. In 2010, the United States Mint launched the America the Beautiful Quarters program. This series was designed to celebrate national parks and sites across all 50 states, the District of Columbia, and the 5 U.S. territories. Each year, 5 new designs would be released. The 2010 lineup included coins representing Arkansas, Wyoming, California, Arizona, and Oregon. Now here's where it gets interesting. The Philadelphia Mint struck millions of these quarters, all bearing the P Mint mark. But not all of them were created equal. Among the regular strike coins, a few extraordinary pieces stood out due to rare errors, low mintage varieties, and unique features. One of the most famous is the Hot Springs quarter from Arkansas. Though hundreds of millions were minted, a few very specific 2010 P quarters showed signs of rare double dies, off-center strikes, and even early strike satin finish anomalies that were not intended for circulation. These are the coins that have collectors in a frenzy. Imagine finding a Hot Springs quarter from the Philadelphia Mint with a strong doubling on the building windows or fountain area. That's not just a cool minting error. That's a payday waiting to happen. Some of these error coins have fetched thousands at auction. One near-perfect example graded by PCGS sold for an astonishing $45,999. That is an incredible return on a coin with a face value of just 25 cents. You might be asking, what should I look for? What makes one of these quarters worth almost 50 grand? First, examine the coin closely for minting errors. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Look for doubling in the text or features of the design, especially in the word Liberty, the date, and the details of the national park featured. Second, check the condition. Coins graded as MS67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC are highly sought after. If you find a flawless or near-flawless example, it could be worth submitting for grading. Third, keep your eyes open for coins with unusual finishes. Some quarters struck early in the production run have a satin-like texture. These aren't your typical circulation coins, and they were never supposed to reach the public. That's what makes them extremely valuable. Let's talk briefly about mintage numbers. While the Philadelphia Mint struck tens of millions of these coins, mint state examples with rare errors or in high grades are surprisingly scarce. That rarity is what drives the price so high. And finally, the market value today. At the time of this recording, top condition 2010p Hot Springs quarters with confirmed errors have been documented selling for between $10,000 and $45,999. That's an amazing amount of money for a coin that might still be sitting in your change JAR.SO. What does this mean for you? It means don't overlook those state park quarters from 2010. Check every single one. If you come across a 2010p quarter in pristine condition or with signs of a striking error, it might just be your ticket to a small fortune. Coin collecting isn't just a hobby, it's an adventure. And sometimes, it's the modern coins that surprise us the most. We are talking about something truly surprising. A modern coin that has shocked collectors and numismatists alike. Yes, we are talking about the 2014p Mint Mark quarter dollar. A coin that you might think is just pocket change. But what if I told you it could be worth as much as $35,999? That's right. A quarter worth nearly $36,000. So how is this possible? What makes this 2014p quarter so special? What should you be looking for in your change? And how can you tell if the one you have is valuable? We are answering all those questions and more. So stick around because you do not want to miss this. Let's start with the basics. In 2014, the United States Mint released a series of America the Beautiful quarters. Each quarter featured a different national site or park from various states and territories. These coins were part of a broader program launched in 2010 and ran through 2021. The 2014 quarters featured 5 unique designs. Great Smoky Mountains in Tennessee, Shenandoah National Park in Virginia, Arches in Utah, Great Sand Dunes in Colorado, and Everglades in Florida. Now, the P Mint mark tells us the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The Philadelphia Mint is the original U.S. mint facility and still produces millions of coins every day. In 2014, it struck hundreds of millions of quarters. So on the surface, a 2014p quarter seems pretty common. But here's where it gets interesting. Some of these coins have incredibly rare and valuable errors. We are talking about double dies, off-center strikes, misaligned dies, and other minting mistakes that drive collectors crazy. When an error like this is combined with a high-grade condition certified by top grading companies like PCGS or NGC, the value can skyrocket. One such example is a 2014p Arches National Park quarter that sold for a jaw-dropping $35,999. This coin was graded MS68 by PCGS, which means it is in near-perfect condition. It also featured an extremely rare and dramatic mint error that made it one of a kind. Collectors were eager to fight for it, and the final auction price reflected that intense demand. Let's break it down. Most circulated 2014p quarters are worth their face value of 25 cents. However, if the coin is uncirculated or comes directly from a mint set, it might be worth a few dollars. If it's graded high like MS66 or above, its value can jump into the double digits. MS67 examples have sold for anywhere from $50 to $200. But MS68 is the magic number. That grade is extremely rare for modern quarters, and collectors are willing to pay big money to add one to their collections, especially if it has a unique error. So, how do you know if your 2014p quarter is valuable? First, check the condition. Does it have a strong strike, full details, and know where look for luster, the original shine from the mint? If the coin looks uncirculated, it might be worth sending to a grading service. Next, look for errors. Use a magnifying glass and inspect the coin closely. Are the letters or numbers doubled? Is there anything missing or misaligned? Does the coin appear off-center or have strange markings? These are signs of mint errors, and they can make a big difference in value. You can also check online auctions to see what similar coins are selling for. Sites like eBay, Heritage Auctions, and Great Collections can give you real-time market insights. Search for 2014 P quarter error or MS68 and see what turns up. You might be surprised by what people are paying now. Here's an important tip. Even if your coin doesn't have an obvious error, it still might be worth grading if it looks flawless. Remember, condition is everything. A regular coin in exceptional condition can be far more valuable than a rare error in poor shape. So to recap, the 2014 P quarter might look like ordinary change, but it's anything but. Thanks to rare mint errors and high-grade examples, it has become one of the most sought-after modern quarters in the collector world. One sold for $35,999, proving that treasure still hides in plain sight. So the next time you get a quarter in your change, take a moment and check the date. If it's from 2014 and has that P mint mark, give it a close look. Could be your lucky day. We're diving deep into one of the most surprising and valuable coins you might just have in your pocket change right now. We're talking about the 2016 quarter dollar with the D mint mark. Yes, that little coin from Denver could be worth a fortune. In fact, one of these coins was recently valued at a jaw-dropping $24,999. Let's get into why this coin is turning heads and how you can find out if you've got one of these valuable pieces sitting in your change jar. First, let's start with a little background. The 2016 quarter is part of the America the Beautiful series, which began in 2010 and ran until 2021. In 2016 alone, 5 different designs were released, each honoring a different national park or historic site. These were Shawnee National Forest in Illinois, Cumberland Gap in Kentucky, Harper's Ferry in West Virginia, Theodore Roosevelt in North Dakota, and Fort Moultrie in South Carolina. Each design was minted at Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, with the Denver coins bearing the D mint mark. Now, normally modern quarters from this series are common. They were produced by the millions and are often seen as low-value coins unless they're in pristine condition. But here's where it gets interesting. Some of these 2016 D quarters have major errors or rare varieties that make them extremely valuable to collectors. We're talking about double die errors, off-center strikes, and even rare planchet errors where the coin was struck on the wrong type of metal. These mistakes are what turn a regular quarter into a coin worth thousands of dollars. One of the most sought-after examples is a 2016 D quarter with a strong double die obverse. This means the front of the coin shows noticeable doubling in the words Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the mint date. These errors are visible even without magnification in some cases and can command high prices at auction. Combine that with a flawless uncirculated condition or a high grade from a grading service like PCGS or NGC, and now you're looking at serious value. Let's talk about the big one. A 2016 D quarter was graded in mint state 69 by PCGS and featured a rare striking error. This coin sold for $24,999. That's right, almost 25 grand for a coin that originally cost just 25 cents. This kind of sale is rare, but it proves that these coins can be worth a fortune in the right condition and with the right error. So what should you be looking for? First, check the reverse design to identify which 2016 quarter you have. Then, look for the D mint mark on the front, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. Next, examine the lettering for any doubling, misalignment, or unusual markings. Also, check the edges for any missing ridges or signs of an off-metal strike. If you suspect anything unusual, it's worth getting the coin looked at by a professional grader. Now, let's talk about the current market. While not every 2016 D quarter is worth thousands, many uncirculated or error coins are fetching strong prices. Even standard high-grade examples without major errors can sell for $10 to $50 or more, depending on the design and condition. But the rare ones, the truly special finds, can bring in hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands at auction. It's also important to mention that many collectors are starting to focus on modern errors and varieties. This means demand is rising for coins like the 2016 D quarter with significant differences from the norm. Whether you're a casual collector or just someone curious about coin values, it's a great time to start checking your change. You never know when one of these rare treasures might show up, so the next time you get a handful of change, don't ignore those quarters. Take a second look. That 2016 D quarter in your pocket might just be worth more than you think. And if you happen to find one with a major error or in flawless condition, you could be looking at a payday worth thousands or even close to $25,000. We're talking about a coin that might just be sitting in your wallet or coin jar right now. The 2018 P Mint Mark $quarter coin. You might not think twice about this coin when you see it. But believe me, some of these coins are worth much more than 25 cents. In fact, some have sold for as much as $16,999. Yes, you heard that right. So what makes the 2018 P quarter so special? Why are collectors and investors going crazy over it? And what should you look for to see if you might have a small fortune hiding in your hands? Stick around because we're covering the full history, value, varieties, and how you can identify a rare one today. First, let's talk about the basics. The 2018 quarters were part of the America the Beautiful series, which began in 2010 and ended in 2021. In 2018 alone, 5 unique designs were released to honor different national sites. These included Pictured Rocks in Michigan, Apostle Islands in Wisconsin, Voyagers in Minnesota, Cumberland Island in Georgia, and Block Island in Rhode Island. Each one has its own unique design on the reverse side of the coin. The P Mint mark means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most iconic mints in the United States. The Philadelphia Mint produces millions of coins, but that doesn't mean all are ordinary. Some of these coins have rare errors, misstrikes, and other unique features that make them highly desirable to collectors. Now here's where it gets really interesting. While most 2018 P quarters are worth face value, there are a few that are highly valuable. Why? Because of mint errors, high-grade condition, or rare varieties. Let's break that down. Number 1. Mint errors. Some of the 2018 P quarters have dramatic die cracks, double dies, off-center strikes, or even coins struck on the wrong planchet. These are mistakes that happen during the minting process, and collectors love them because they are unique. One coin, for example, had an extreme off-center strike and sold for over $1,000. Others with doubling in the letters or numbers can bring in hundreds or more depending on how dramatic the error is. Number 2. High-grade coins. If your coin has never been used and has 0 scratches, it may be worth sending to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. A coin graded MS67 or MS68 means it is in nearly perfect condition, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for such coins. Some have sold for hundreds and in rare cases several $1,000s. One MS68 graded 2018 P quarter sold for $16,999 because of its pristine condition and eye appeal. Number 3. Low population. The rarer the coin in a certain grade, the more valuable it becomes. For example, if only a few coins exist in MS68 from the 2018 P series, their value skyrockets due to demand. That's simple supply and demand economics. So how do you know if you have a valuable 2018 P quarter? Here's what to look for. First, check the mint mark. It must have the letter P near the bottom right of George Washington's portrait. Then look closely at the reverse design. Is it one of the 5 national sites from 2018? Next, examine the coin under good lighting or with a magnifier. Do you see any doubling in the letters or date? Is there a crack or shift in the design? Those could be error signs. Lastly, consider the condition. A coin straight from a mint roll or an uncirculated set will be in better condition than a coin that's been circulating for years. You can also compare your coin with certified examples online from auction sites or grading companies. That way, you'll get a better idea of what yours might be worth. If you think your coin could be valuable, consider having it graded. Grading can be pricey, so only do it if your coin shows true promise. Now let's talk about the current market. As of today, high-grade examples of the 2018 P quarter can fetch hundreds to thousands depending on rarity and condition. The most valuable ones, such as a perfect MS68, have gone for that incredible figure of $16,999. That's not a typo. It's real money being paid by serious collectors who want the best examples of modern coins. Even error coins in lower grades have sold for impressive amounts. It's a hot market, and collectors are always searching for that next rare piece. And the best part? These coins are still out there in circulation. So start checking.